Hello, my name is Jonathan. I'm a caregiver for my wife Lynn, and we're promoting positive awareness for families coping with brain injuries and other disabilities. And today is my first biker vlog, and we're going on a trip, so let's get going. With my friend Mark here, we're going to take off and we're going to head down the Mohawk Valley, right? Down Route 5, sort of a historical route. I'll narrate it a little bit, I'll have the GoPro going, and we'll see how this goes. I think, where are we eating again?
Empire Diner.
Empire Diner in Herkimer, that's right. Crazy Otto's, I think they call it now. And that's a really cool place, so we'll shoot a little of that too. So let's get going. Okay, so our first stop is in Little Falls. It's where they recently shot A Quiet Place, the 2018 version of The Quiet Place with John Krasinski and Emily Blunt, I believe. And there's talk of them shooting another one here. So, in fact, right here on Main Street. Right down the strip. Kind of cool. Next stop is Beardsley Castle, behind me. Interesting place, I've eaten there before. Built sometime in the 1860s. I believe it was a copy of a castle in Ireland. And the original owner was a major stockholder of the New York Central Railroad. Alright, for another note that Mark mentioned to me that this area, or this pathway, was known as the King's Highway back in colonial times. This was the only thoroughfare from east to west. This area was had major impact in the American Revolution. There were a lot of forts along the way, and this is where the drums along the Mohawk was all about this area. So very interesting and historic route that we're taking today. Next on the stop is Nellis Tavern, which was built in 1747. It's one of the oldest taverns still in existence in the area. While I'm shooting, a train went by. I got that last clip in just in time before they blasted their horn. So remember I mentioned this is a busy thoroughfare? Well, trains still go through the valley. Forts along this way. This is Fort Klock, erected in 1750. Fort Klock was actually a fortified farmhouse. During the French and Indian Wars, there was, I guess this place has 2-foot thick limestone walls with loopholes on every side so people inside could defend themselves, and a small spring in the cellar, so if they were kind of under siege, they can still continue to get water. very important. So all along this thoroughfare, along the Mohawk Valley, there were lots of places like this where people could run for safety. Place of interest, the Palatine Evangelical Lutheran Church, one of the oldest churches in the Mohawk Valley, built in 1717 using limestone taken from the creek nearby. If you're a history buff like me, you ought to take this trip. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot to see. This is a great old church, and from what I hear, they still have services here, which would be fun to go to. It says here on the plaque that Henry Nellis, we just were at the Nellis Tavern a little while back, so I assume he's related or maybe owned it. He and his son Robert remained loyal to the British government and fled to Canada. Henry served in the British Army throughout the Revolution, and his church may have been spared, but he never returned to the Mohawk Valley. He settled in Canada with many other loyalists from this area. Here with a nice view of the Mohawk Valley. Riding on a ridge here. We're actually on 5S right now, which is south of the thruway and the canal. Thus the letter S in 5S. Very pretty ride along this route. I highly recommend it. Shoulder, another historic landmark, the Indian Castle Church, erected in 1769 by William Johnson. There's an old cemetery out behind there as well. Be interesting to take a look and see who's buried back there. Guy peeking in the window. Who's that? Stop on the trip, the home of General Nicholas Herkimer. Let's go take a look. Okay, here it is, General Herkimer's home. General Herkimer led the troops at the Battle of Oriskany and was wounded in the leg and was brought back here and died in this home. Beautiful home. Back in the day, this would have been a mansion, major mansion. Here's the story. From this point, General Herkimer started August 3rd, 1777 to take command of the men who assembled in answer to the call to fight in defense of the Mohawk Valley. Wider shot down below was actually the canal, but back then it would have been the Mohawk River. Major thoroughfare where everybody traveled. Everything went, if you're going east to west, you went right by this home. Here's General Herkimer's grave. Mark said his leg is buried there too. Separate grave? Separate grave for his leg. Last historic stop on our bike ride, the Fort Herkimer Church, built in 1767. Now I want to note too that behind here, if you're not into motorcycling, there's a bike trail that's been built. Now I've pedaled along the bike trail along the canal before, but I've gone the other direction. I've never gone this far because it never extended quite this far. So now they've been building up, and there's a lot going on back there, a lot of construction, and something to consider if you're into biking. It's a nice trip. More shots of the bike trail that they're building. There's a little bridge over here, and this is right behind the church. So the bike trail goes to a lot of these destinations, including General Herkimer's home. So it's a nice ride. There's also a little pavilion over here the bike trail goes to. It's a nice place to take a break. Okay, the end of the ride. We're gonna grab some lunch in Crazy Otto's Empire Diner. Another historic place. Been around forever, right? Food's good. I've never eaten there.
Well, we're gonna try.
We're gonna try it. I'll let you know later if it's any good. But for now, ready, Mark? We'll see you next time on The Lynn Life.